talking about surface pad welding. Okay, so let's pretend carry your tool and die maker and you're machining this giant fixture. You make a mistake. Whoops. Well, there's two options. You can throw the whole fixture away. You got hundreds of hours into it. Or I give it to a welder and be like, hey pal, can you build this up a little bit so I can go back and machine it down? That's the purpose behind this. Okay, there's actually an industry purpose behind why we're doing this. In your regard, we're not doing that. But this is muscle memory. There's like 25 beads on here. And every time you lay one from start to finish, you are working on that muscle memory. Okay? First and second hour, I can see it. They're working through this process. Travel angle, travel speed, work angle. They're working on their body and how they're holding it and how do I get from one side to the other without moving around. Okay? I have a couple examples here. Now, between these two, there's a big difference. Do you see it? This one's curled like a taco, not okay. That means that when they welded this, they kind of violated one of our principal rules, that you weld one, maybe 2 times, you have to cool it down. Have to. If you do not, this heat just keeps translating through the piece and it ends up like this, okay? So make sure you cool it down. Remember, you're starting with a nice straight bead. That's what we're after right now. If you didn't do this yet, don't. We're just going to talk about this today. We'll do a quick demo, and then we're still working on this. This is how it starts, though. We're going to weld right down the middle. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to split this weld in half. I'm going to weld right next to it. To the point where if I take my arc, remember we talked about the toes of the weld? That arc is going to follow the toe. As the weld gets big in size, once it breaks the crest, the top, the peak, I like to call these mountains and valleys, it breaks the peak of the weld that you already started with, I'm moving. The goal is to have 2 welds. So for example, this is from last hour, there's 2 welds here. It doesn't look that way, it looks like kind of one big giant weld, but that's the whole point. As I move over, you'll see some definition, but it's one solid bead, so that way my tool die maker can go back and machine it off. Here's how I grade them. I take a piece of straight steel, a ruler, something like that, and I put it on top. Okay? There should be no valleys between your top of your mountains. So from peak to peak, no valley. That's the goal. If you do, for example, like this guy had some, he had a couple, and this is not quite perfect. You can almost hear it. It's like an accordion. Okay? You went back and filled them in. It's 4 inches by 6 inches. Not 5 by 7, not 6 by 9, 4 by 6. One side full. Okay? You're not allowed to do multiple of these, you're doing one. Okay, so I'm going to kick you off today with a good start. Yeah, last hour we started with welding down the middle. So I tacked it together, one on each side, and I welded the seam. Now I would start here because some of you need a line. You need to follow a line. Otherwise you're all over the place. So follow the line, start yourself with a good weld. Okay? I'm at the hot settings. You should be all set up with the right gas and everything's good to go. There's only one change we're going to make. Here's the change. So a typical surface weld, remember, is 90 and about 15. Some of you are struggling with this right now. So muscle memory, get that in place. 90 and 15. I'm going to take the stick out, I'm going to put it in the toe. That's where it goes, right here. And I'm going to go 90, 15, and I'm just going to dip my hand about 10 degrees. That's it. I'm setting you up for a lap joint. If you can do this, you can do a lap joint, which is more important, I say in this regards, because that's more fabrication-like. Okay? So we're going to do 2 welds. We're going to do one on this side, we'll flip over to one on this side, and we're going to look at it. All right? Get in a spot where you can see, or you feel like you have the ability to learn something. All right, here we go. One more thing I would suggest, muscle memory, right? Some of you are dragging your arm on the table. That's a bad practice. Don't do that. You need to figure out how to get from this side to this side without getting hung up. It's support is number one. Support the neck or support your gun. Put this elbow somewhere. If it's on a table, there's a lot of things there that get caught on it. Don't let that be an excuse. It's not an excuse. I like to rest it against my hip, so that way I'm in control. All right? Let's do one. Okay, cover. Okay. Now I'm going to give you a little tip here, and this one's not the best, and I know it. The nice part about surface welding, and you're not going to hear this from the instructors at WCTC, you're going to hear it from me because I'm giving you the secret. If you lay a bad weld, dang it, Noah just laid a booger. What am I going to do? Okay. The next weld, you have the ability to fix it, and I'll never know the difference. Okay. So you can lay one bad one. The next one though, you need to fix it, okay? So that means that my overlap here needs to be the point where I can correct this successfully, okay? My end of my weld here, I got a little bit of spatter and it built up here and I can see I got stuck, okay? Let me weld one on the other side and then we'll cool it down and I'll bring it around, we can look at it. Okay, you ready? One more. Okay, 90, 15, about 10. There we go, cover. Okay. Ooh, that one's much nicer. Start in the center, work your way out. Once, twice, you have to cool it down. Now, some of you guys are baptizing your pieces on your pliers. Actually, can you give me one out of the drawer there, please? Give it a quick dump. This one is way better than this one. But I have the ability to correct that. Okay? So you get nice and flat. If I look at it from the top down, you should see it's all the mountains are lined up, right? Good. I'll keep welding on this in the next 7, 8, and hopefully by next class period it'll be 2/3 full. Okay? 4x6, one-sided. Questions? Okay, I got nothing else. Go get yourself set up. Keep going.